And good evening, good evening, good evening. It is me, that D-O-double-G, and welcome one and all to this very special Euro special of the Absolute Football Podcast. And remember, you've got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you and hurt you, defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Get around the back and catch me if you can. But I'm not an Englishman. Woohoo! And thank you, everybody, for joining us. And it's not just me. It's not just me. Thank God I can see the relief in all the viewers' eyes that I can't see, but I'm sure it is there. It is not me. We have an eclectic mix this evening. We're drawing from all the pools of the various podcasts this evening. So you lucky bastards, you get a little bit of everything. And to start off, I'm the lucky one, obviously, because this evening I've got Anthony. Anthony, how are you, dear sir?
I'm very impressed that you knew the words to Barnes' rap in World of Motion. I've got to be honest. We all know it as England fans, but that a Welshman knowing it, I think it's a first. But yeah, apart from that, mate, I'm fantastically good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Marvellous. I'm all right. Do you know, it's on Gavin and Stacey, mate. That's it. That's where I know it from.
Fair play.
Exactly. Welsh comedy show. That's where I got that one from. And obviously, you know, Anthony from our absolutely award-winning Absolutely Lower League show, and joining Anthony and the team from time to time on the Absolutely Lower League team, and also the fabulous, the Team Chaos Absolutely WSL Women's Championship is Rebecca. Rebecca, you're like a hybrid, a crossover from all the pods. You're in everything. How are you this evening?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm still living up last Thursday meeting one of my favourite F1 drivers. So, yeah, I've still not got over that. So, yeah, I'm really good, thank you.
Oh, well, tell everybody. Not everybody will know that. Who was it? What were you doing?
I went to the Silverstone Museum and just randomly, Williams Racing decided to go and film. So, I met Alex Albon and James Vowles.
Living the high life. She's living the dream. And of course, we're all three of us are living the dream because we are joined by another advocate from our absolutely wonderful hashtag Team Chaos, Absolutely WSL and Women's Championship. Chloe, how are you this evening, Chloe?
I'm good. I'm doing good. On the Gavin and Stacey reference, I found out yesterday when we were in the pub watching the England game that my friend Reese had never seen it.
Still your friend, or
not anymore? It used to be. Now he's not until he watches it.
Did you bottle him? Say, get out your tosser.
How have you never watched this? It's 18 episodes. Just watch it. You've got all day. You're not at uni anymore. Just sit and watch it on. He's like, oh, and I'm like, nope. If you still want to be friends, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
Can I throw a bombshell in the mix, Josh? I don't really like Gavin and Stacey very much. I like the last episode and the one where they go to the bingo. But I think it's mediocre.
I don't know what to say now. You just spoiled it now. I might as well just log off, go home, and never do anything again. But I mean, in the chat, I'm sure there's people that got much more appreciation for good comedy because they watch us each week. It is Simon. Good evening, Simon. And Fifey is shell shocked to know that I know you wouldn't have guessed I'm Welsh. I wouldn't have. There's no accent. There's nothing. I just play it all under the radar and just swoop in. And
it's fake Fife. He's really cockney, you know. Honestly, we've just been talking about what, lads?
I just fell down the old apples and pears. Yeah, that's it.
Even when you're trying to be cockney, you're Welsh.
Yeah, I do what I do. I'll do what I could do. I mean, well, I tell you what, I was going to say, because while you're all laughing at me, why don't we talk about the Germany-Scotland game? But we won't laugh at them yet. Let's leave that and get into what I'm sure all three of you wanted to speak about was the wonderful opening game from England, just full of excitement and goals, and a wonderful, exciting play. It was Serbia 0, England 1. Oh, what a roller coaster ride that was. I mean, we'll go round. I mean, Anthony, how did that game make you feel?
A win's a win, isn't it? Really, you know. Obviously, it's First game, I think a lot of people obviously wanted us to make like a statement, and after watching like the likes of Spain and for me Switzerland, who I thought were outstanding against Hungary, considering Hungary were like in the top league the Nations League bracket a few years ago and actually done the number on England, and I thought played very well against England. But anyway, kind of first half an hour, I thought, oh, this is mint. This I must admit, I thought Saka was, getting in behind all the time and causing a lot of trouble. We got a goal quite early on. Obviously, we've all got Jude fever, haven't we, at the minute with Bellingham getting a goal. And then, Serbia are always going to come back into it. Serbia are a good side. And I personally think out of the three teams in that group, I think that was the hardest one, to be honest. I watched Denmark and Slovenia the game before, and I wasn't impressed with Denmark at all. And I thought Slovenia actually probably deserved at least a draw from it. And you look what the players that Serbia have got. Nikola Vajovic, who scored, I think he's got like 40-odd goals last season, and Alex Mitrovic goes everywhere he goes. He's in Saudi at the minute, but he's got 58 international goals. So they've got a good side. I think second half we made it a little bit difficult for ourselves, obviously, because we just couldn't get out a little bit. But Serbia were limited, weren't they? They didn't have a clear-cut opportunity, really. That shot from long range, which Pickford did really well to save. But I thought we were comfortable. I thought it was one of those games where I never felt as if we were under pressure at all. Just thought I think maybe Southgate maybe just wanted, I thought 1-0 was fine. And the thing is with the Euros, the way the Euros is worked out, that's more than likely us qualified now because, 3 points, because you get the four, I think it's the 4 best third place teams get through, and we've got 3 points with a 1-0 goal difference thing, and then the other 2 teams drew. So it's a little bit unlikely that we're going to finish bottom of the group now. So job done for me.
Sorted.
Yeah,
He's just sort of, Rebecca, we will come back on and get into it. We'll do a little bit more nitpicking. I will get into it. But Rebecca, how did that game make you feel? Especially with your boy Pickford, clean sheet.
I know.
Made in Sunderland.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first half. Second half zoned out a bit. I did get a bit meh. But yeah, we did play quite well first half, and that was like the England I expected to come out. There were like points where you're a bit like, but Bellingham, I think we've all mentioned this, and I think we mentioned him last week on the podcast. What a player. For 20 to be scoring in like the first England match of the Euros, just incredible. Well worked goal. I do think Foden were quite quiet, and I have seen like a couple of comments on him saying like just different things about.
We'll get into him. Don't you worry. I've got that written down.
But yeah, Pickford, I feel as though one of the best things I love about him, and I think Chloe will agree, he gets angry for doing his job.
Oh, so funny.
He makes a save and he gets annoyed, but
It's so funny.
I do understand it because the way some of like the shots that did come from Serbia, they could have been cleared by the defence, and you can just understand why Pickford's so screaming. But yeah, it was, as Ant said, a win's a win. We'll take it, and 3 points and a good clean sheet for Pickford. So yeah.
And in the chat, Jen has joined us now. Our besties, isn't that lovely? I haven't got many besties, so that's nice. And she's giving Pickford a bit of love there. And Simon, we will be getting into, did Foden and King turn up? Fifey says no, and we will get into those. Don't you worry. But Chloe, your first football analysis on a Monday evening show, I think. How did that game make you feel?
I'm a bit like Rebecca is. Like I thought the first half was good, but the second half I thought was a bit dull. Like I kind of expected more. I don't understand how Harry Kane didn't score when it hit the bar, and I thought it was going to hit the bar and go under. We were watching that like, how has this stayed out? Like I thought he was gonna add a second, but yeah, I don't know what it was. I just felt like England were a bit lackluster. Like in the second half, particularly, they just seemed a bit zoned down, a bit dull. I don't know where Foden and Kane were. like that comment said, I'm not really sure what happened there. Saka, I thought he was really good. Like particularly that pass to help Bellingham's goal. I thought that was chef's kiss. That was beautiful.
But I mean, I tell you what, I want this up. If we look at the formation, I thought I want to get into, because I mean, is obviously had defensive issues. I think Maguire was injured. That's a negative. Apparently, I'm not going to be mean about Harry Maguire. Bless his little heart. So see, but I think, I mean, looking at the formation, I did have some question marks about it. But players that were sort of left out and players that were shoehorned in. So, who was it? It wasn't Conor Gallagher, who I'm looking at. Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was left out, and Phil Foden tripped out to the left, and the one of the finest right backs in world football placed into central midfield, which confused the balls out of me. I mean, we'll start off in a diagonal fashion. Rebecca, I mean, formation wise and the starting 11, what did you think of the formation and the players that were selected in that?
One comment that I have picked up on by the commentators is we need a left-footed centre-back. I feel as though the idea of having Trippier playing out of position, I didn't think it worked as well. That is a very good comment. He did do well. But I feel as though, and I will put this rant out again, Jared Brantwaite is a key figure that is missing in that defence. We need that left-footed centre-back. Even if, I know people might hate me for saying this, go for the back three and have your wingers a bit more free, and you have that security of Jared as a left-back. And I know we've seen him slot in there for Everton a few times when it's been needed, and we know he can play that position. So I feel as though that is a huge, huge miss for us, and the defence is struggling a bit. Formation-wise, I don't know if they swallowed Foden and Kane up into it or anything, but they were just non-existent at times. But we did see quite a few of the midfield and forwards having to come back and defend. I don't know whether that was just us trying to sit back because, we've got the 1-0. But there were a few missing pieces that were in that formation and that starting 11, I think. I did think Jared Bowen coming on was a great addition. And that cross that he put in for Harry Kane, unfortunately, like Chloe said, he did it the bar.
Beautiful cross, wasn't it?
Incredible. And I feel as though that's the game changer that we needed to try and add a bit into it. So I do feel as though keeping Jared Bowen as a sub might be more beneficial for us to have the quick and the fresh legs coming on, because he did seem to come on and change it for us.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with Brantwaite in defence. That confuses me. It confuses me massively. What Southgate's actually doing there. But I mean, what we'll get into the Trent debate immediately, because that's probably the biggest one that a lot of people got into. I mean, Fifey's not a fan, I'm guessing. I think for audio listeners, I think Trent is England's 5th best right back and 174th best centre midfield. What I will say is, statistically, he's actually the best right back in the Premier League in regard to interceptions, tackles made, successful one-on-ones, successful interceptions, passes made. So statistically, he's the best. And I think in the Liverpool side as a right back, there isn't another right back in world football other than maybe Danny Carvajal that can do what he does because of the style of play. And I think what lazy punditry does is exposes the odd occasion that he gets caught out because he's pushing up bloody high and there's nobody behind him covering up. So because he pushes up so high, when he does get exposed, it's very open. I think people pick up on that very easily then, because it's there for everyone to see. And unless you're watching Liverpool week in, week out, all you're going to see is the beautiful Hollywood balls that he puts in, and then when he gets caught out, which would happen to anyone in that sort of style of play, is the risk that we play. And I would say you won't see that next season, because I think Liverpool are going to play slightly deeper, so you'll see a different side of his play there. But I mean, and shoehorning him into midfield to keep Kyle Walker at right back. I love Trent. He does beautiful passing, very creative, but central midfield, does that work for you in the brief time that he did in that game?
Unfortunately, not. For me, at a big tournament like this, I wouldn't like to see square pegs and round holes. To be honest, I think he's an excellent right back. I'd probably disagree with Fife saying he's our fifth best. I would say he's behind Walker, and then I would have him in. I would have him in over Trippier any day of the week. To be honest,
I agree with you in this style of play.
Yeah. But I would, because I think Kyle Walker's fantastic. I thought Kyle Walker did really well yesterday, especially in the first half. But
he's just a tosser. That's my only issue with Cole. Tosser. Otherwise, yeah. A bit like Ashley Cole, isn't it?
But I mean, the bother is we've got such an array of centre midfielders, I know Conor Gallagher kind of. He kind of differs opinion, doesn't he? He's looking like Marmite, either love him or you hate him. But I think he's a decent centre midfielder. And what he does in that England side, I thought he did when he came on yesterday. I thought he did quite well. He did his job really well, to be fair. But they've got obviously Kobe Manu and that who they brought in. Who if you're going to trust him, if he's if he's good enough to make the squad, then surely you got to trust him to go in instead of Trent maybe. But the problem is what England have got with that, because they're so kind of obsessed really with having Bellingham in the 10, which is probably Bellingham's best position, but it's also Foden's. And so they've got to make this kind of adaptation to move Foden out on the left. And they've got him in Southgate just wants, he's got to have two holders. But for me, I would just have one holder and have Declan Rice doing that job. Because I think it's gone under the radar. Like yesterday, I think Fife mentioned it before, Declan Rice was absolutely outstanding yesterday.
Yeah.
He didn't put a foot wrong, did he? And I would, in games where, maybe against Denmark or something where I think we are a better team than Denmark, I wouldn't mind them saying, take the foot off the pedal a little bit and go a little bit more attacking. But I don't think Trent did much wrong. I think it was at the goal where we did the little split pass to Walker, which was a lovely pass. But he got caught in possession a couple of times, which could have led to, something quite disastrous. I think, Mitrovic hit one wide of what was his bad pass. But I wouldn't totally give up on him in that formation long term. And I don't know how you feel with this, as a Liverpool fan. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a winger, just because he bombs forward as a right back, but he's not a great defender. But he can bomb right forward and he can get goals. So, looking at at his age as well, you look at what Gareth Bale did when he was obviously he was a left back, and then kind of got into changed into a winger and had the best year of his career as a winger, didn't he? And I can see the same with Trent, to be honest. But as a centre mid, probably not. I probably would change that for our next game.
Yeah. In a tournament that matters,
when you're coming against say if we get into the quarterfinals and we've got say Germany or Spain or whatever, I would worry when we're not going to have as much of the ball as what we had yesterday.
Yeah, it is a strange one. I mean, like I said, people need to remember it's about players fitting in, like you said, round pegs, round holes, and players playing into the style of playing formation. And people need to remember at Liverpool, Trent plays a very different right back role to what England would have, and he doesn't play in midfield at any point. So it's
it was Gomez doing that last season, wasn't it, for Liverpool? Gomez was playing centre mid, wasn't he? At one point when he had all those injuries, Gomez was doing that job. So why was Gomez not playing? Because Gomez is in the squad. So it's if you're going to put a Liverpool player at centre midfield with Rice, why is it not Gomez? I mean, why is it Trent who's completely out of position?
I think he wants to have that creativity and the balls that Trent can do. But do you know what? If you're not going to play it right back, save it, because it's a tournament and you're going to want to freshen up at some point and have a rotation. But Chloe, in regards to we already spoke about how well Declan played, old Rice baby, was like Ice Baby. But I think it was something Rebecca mentioned. Foden on that left. It didn't. I mean, for me, it doesn't make sense. Like Anthony said, round pegs, round holes. Do you think this is a little bit of the old Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard thing going round in Southgate's mind, or do you think he warrants being out on the left wing over actual wingers?
I don't know. I mean, Southgate ball is a different thing, innit? It's just I quite like to know what was going on in his head when he made that decision, because I saw it and I was a bit like, oh, is this happening? Is he playing? I'm not okay. A bit weird, but we'll go with it. We trust him. We don't trust him. I just don't think it worked. I think Foden doesn't suit it, and he also looked a little bit out of place at times. Like he was almost going back to his old position. Then it was like, oh no, actually, I'm on the left, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Like he just seemed a bit lost and a little bit confused, and it was just a bit. I mean, I rate Foden as like quite a good baller. Like I think he's really good for City, but he just got lost with England yesterday, and I think he should just stick to centre because I just think he's better at it, and he won't get lost.
Do you not think, Chloe, though, if we had if Luke Shaw was fit, so Luke Shaw can bomb down that left wing and cross with his left foot, it would work a little bit more better with Ford because if Ford can then tuck in then. But the fact that Trippier's right footed, so he had to cut in all the time. It would just that left side just looked totally unbalanced, didn't it? And that's probably the reason why he did struggle. To be fair.
Yeah, he did. It did, and it just looked out of position and odd. I mean, having Luke, surely Luke Shaw's injury is not that bad if he's been named in the squad. Now we know Harry Maguire's injury is a lot worse because he wasn't named, but so hopefully Luke Shaw will be back for the next game to kind of like fill that gap.
Yeah. I mean, we've just got in the chat. Mr. Luke has joined us. He said, "Hello, mate," and he thinks he felt England were meh. However, if you want to progress in this tournament, we need to play better than we did against Serbia. But a win is a win, and he'll take a win. And he thinks Jude Bellingham oozes class. I love the word ooze.
Yeah.
And look,
he might be good as his brother one day.
But we've got Sam in the chat. Good evening, Samuel. I hope you're feeling better. We're having a lovely evening now. He said no balance on the left, for him, no width to give to those inside. And on the photo, Mr. Luke thinks Foden didn't suit the formation, and we should have started someone who's more comfortable in there. And Simon thinks Foden's probably better as a 10, but we've got Bellingham there. I mean, like I said, I think it stinks a little bit of the sort of Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard discussion. But for me, the answer for me was quite clear. Was you put Trent in a position which he doesn't play? That's not him. So why don't you put Bellingham into that position, bring Foden in the 10, and then actually have a left winger playing? Or
that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, like Simon said, if only you had Grealish. If only you did, but, Southgate knows best. But, I mean, like Rebecca said, you had Bowen on the bench. I think Eze was out on the bench as well. I mean, Cole Palmer can play out in that sort of wing position to give you that little bit of width and just a more natural balance. Am I mental? I mean, aren't you sort of agreed with me? Am I being crazy, or does that sort of make more sense?
With Bellingham, I mean, he's the best number 10 in the world, probably at only 20. But for England, I would put like I don't know how you work it because Rice can do the sitting and I think Rice in that position is the best. Like the CDM. I think he's the best in the world at it. I really do. I've rated Declan Rice for a long, long time. But surely you can have at a time where you've got these two 10s, and I'm trying to kind of see it a little bit better than what Emily Lugo said it yesterday, but you can have two 10s playing if one does sit and one goes like that. So you're playing like Sunderland did it a couple of years ago. And you can do that, and it can just sort of so one plays in a free role and one goes behind the striker. So that can happen. And then obviously when we're defending, one can come back, which is what Bellingham can do, because Bellingham he glides across that pitch. I mean, Bellingham was making tackles in our own D, like in the first half, and that's playing as a 10. So he can obviously do the 8, you know what I mean? Like that. So he can definitely push forward. I mean, Simon's mentioned Grealish, and I do agree with that, because I would have Grealish in the squad because the game was crying out for a mercurial talent like Grealish just to take the pressure off, just to run and get a couple of fouls, just bring us back into the game a little bit. But personally, what I would have done, and I feel really cheap and dirty saying this as a Sunderland fan, but I would have brought Anthony Gordon on, because he can do exactly the same thing. He can run with the ball. He gets his head down. We saw what Bowen did when he came on. He got his head down. He ran. He created something for Kane, and Gordon can do exactly the same thing. And I think Southgate was just kind of stuck in, and he was caught between a rock and a hard place, really, where he wanted it to work with Foden, but we could all see it wasn't. But I think it's just that kind of being a manager thinks I'm right. You know what I mean? But if I was yeah, pretty much. If I was Southgate with the whole debate about Foden out on the left, the FA Cup final, Foden played out on the left and didn't touch the ball and did he get subbed in that? I'm sure he got subbed. Oh, no, it was De Bruyne got subbed and put him in the middle, didn't he? But he didn't touch the ball for 60 odd minutes, and Southgate was there. I watched that and went, right, we need to do something else. We cannot have Phil Foden playing out on the left. But ever since Southgate's been in the manager and Foden's been in the squad, Southgate has not been able to get the best out of Foden than what Pep Guardiola can do, because Pep Guardiola plays him in his best position and Southgate doesn't. So I don't blame Foden at all.
The same thing with this Trent thing. I spoke a year ago with Trent about him playing in midfield. Yeah, but it doesn't work. It's really silly. You silly Billy. And speaking of silly Billies, it's Claire in the chat. Good evening, Claire, our favourite silly Billy. And you haven't seen it. It was on Twitter. I think it was last week's show. Check it out. It's always a good one for that. I mean, Rebecca, I did see you disagreed with the Anthony Gordon comment. Either that or you needed a poo. Well, I wasn't quite sure.
I mean, I'm just bitter when it comes to Anthony Gordon. I'm still not forgiving him. I mean, he is a talented player and like fair play to him, like he is doing well at Newcastle, but I think I'm always going to have that little bit aside to me. But if it helps England, then put him in. He's in an England shirt, so I kind of drop the bias with it. It's different shirt, different time. So, yeah, it's one of them. If he can do the job, then put him on. But, yeah, I agree with what Ant was saying in terms of Bellingham and Foden like having the number 10 role.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I'm going to throw something out there for me. Watching the game as a neutral, because I'm very neutral. Because I'm not against England. I don't care. I really don't care who wins and who does well. But the one thing I know, looking at it from a neutral position, is going forward, sweet baby Jesus and the Orphans, England are awfully good. And you've got a lot of really good attacking players. But then when you tried to hold on to the ball and tried to slow the play down, because according to Southgate, 1-0 up, woohoo, that's all you need. That's when you look really bad, because for me, the way it looked like, I think it's a style of play. It doesn't suit the players. The players a lot of attacking, fast flair. When you try and play slow, that's when you kept getting caught out. So, I mean, Chloe, here's a radical idea. Do you think maybe England shouldn't try and play possession football, shouldn't try a slow build-up, and just attack with your really, really good players that you've got an abundance of?
Yeah, 100%. Because England have got some really good and really talented players. Like, if you look at the squad coming up now, and like, you've got like your Bellinghams and other young players like coming up. I mean, you still have the experienced ones, but like there's also all these players and so much experience, and a lot of these younger players are attacking players.
Yeah.
So I think they should do it 100%, and I think it would work better than what they're doing now, because it's clear that it's not working as well as it once did.
Well, and I think the one thing I've noticed so far in all the Euro games, it's like the era of the great big number 9. All the good teams have got these massive number 9 units, and Harry Kane can be that, because as much as people might not like him, or might want to laugh at him because he's Spursy and he's gone and broken Bayern Munich, he's a fabulous striker, probably one of the best finishers in the game, and the style of play is sort of very conservative and held back all the time, so he doesn't get to do his thing, doesn't get to get his groove thing on. I mean, Rebecca, do you think more you should maybe abandon this conservative game, because nobody else seems to be playing a conservative game of football? Everyone else seems to be like, woohoo, score goals. How do you feel?
I do think we need to go for it a bit more, because the sitting back, as we saw the second half, did not work for us, and it did put too much pressure on certain players who were out of position and just different things like that. I mean, Pickford having to pull off saves in like the 80th minute. It's like, it shouldn't be happening at that time. Like, yeah, Serbia were coming back at us and they did switch up their style of play at half time, but we need to be doing that, and we need to, we're not going to win every match like 3-4-0, but we need to at least have the comfort zone to then be able to, if we need to, sit back. And I just feel as though we're putting too much pressure on ourselves to defend a 1-0 lead.
Because it's beautiful attacking football, and one going forward, it's just it did. I don't massively enjoy seeing it, but it was some sexy football from England then going forward. But as Claire's saying, she's very much Southgate out, and the second half was like OAP ball. Dreety's in the chat. Hello, thanks for joining us. We hope you're doing well. And Sam saying here, as always, we didn't react to the opponent changing their approach to Serbia going man-to-man second half and pushing up. He said it was like him playing Football Manager because he's too lazy to press any buttons. And Jen saying the team we have now is one of the most talented ones we've had in a long time, and they can win with the right manager. What else? We've got Harry Kane is still showing the Mourinho type football when he comes back and defends all the time. Mr. Luke agrees it is the most talented England squad ever. Just the depth is amazing. And Claire doesn't think we're going to get away with that style of football against a good team. And Freya saying, even know, Chloe, any more seagulls coming away? What happened? Did a seagull poo on you, Chloe?
No, a massive seagull. I'll send the video into the chat later, but a massive seagull just crashed into my window and just sat on like the window ledge for about 10 minutes. And I was just staring at it like, why is this seagull just on my window, and just sat there, and it was huge, and it was really terrifying for a minute because it just crash landed. It's like, whoa.
They are scary seagulls. They're the rats of the skies. Horrible things. But I mean, I agree. It's very talented squad. I don't like praise England too much. I am quite neutral, but I don't want to give you guys too much praise because I get nothing but shit from English fans when Wales don't do well. So, but it just doesn't feel right what sort of Southgate's trying to do, and like you all sort of said, is attacking. That's like the place to be. That is the place to be. And Sam mentioned about it's a little bit like the 2000s. We've got no left-footed left backs, but 17 right backs. He was wondering, Chloe, can you seagull play at left back?
Potentially.
It was a unit, so it might do.
God, it was massive.
Claire's saying I shouldn't be so bitter. I'm not so bitter. I'm just returning what I get. I give him what I get. Because I don't know if you noticed earlier on, I was already asked by where are we looking? Bear with me. Oh, here we are. See, I just ignored that earlier. Just ignored that comment. Everyone's getting the so you know, it's just I just giving it back. But Simon said it's the most talented squad with the second shittest manager we've ever had. Yeah, I just find the man.
Have you seen his record though? Southgate's record for England. I know. He's like, and that's what's so annoying about it, isn't it? He has got like such a fantastic side, and he has won a hell of a lot of games and all that. But you're like, you know, there's like probably an extra 2 or 3 gears that this squad's able to do. Like we compare, like, and I know Germany weren't playing a team as good as Serbia, they were playing Scotland, but Germany know like their manager, Nagelsmann, isn't it? His manager now. They know that they're a little bit weak at the back. So they're literally going to go out there. Right, we might concede a couple of goals, but we're going to score 5. You know what I mean? And that's what this England team's capable of doing. If you just say, all right, go and play what you want to do, because they're all young lads. They're all like, you know, it'll be like playing in the park. You know what I mean? Just go out, see what you can do. Just show your ability, have fun. And I think that we would probably be a lot more happier if we'd won, say, a 5-2 or 5-3 than what we would win in 1-0. But all that matters really at the end of the day is, it's still the same. Wow. It's still the same amount of points that you're going to get. We've still got 3 points. You know, if you ask Belgium today, you know, they got beat off Slovenia, but they want to swap, they'd take your hands off for the 3 points. So it's kind of like I get stuck with Southgate because I try and like stick up for him at times. Then when you're seeing, but then when you're like seeing things like last night, when you were like, all we need to do is just attack them. I mean, it's like. It's hard not to like kind of drop into that. But I don't think he's the second worst manager we've ever had.
I mean, Sam agrees with you there. Sam's listing Keegan.
Keegan, yeah. I mean,
Capello and Hodgson.
Even Sven. Like Sven never got us to a final or I don't think he even got us as far as a semi-final, did he? And he had a crack inside. You know, like the likes.
You know what? I don't think he did.
I don't think so. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sven always had a semi, but as England manager, I don't think with the team he got the team.
Well, Sven gave me a lot of semis, to be fair to him. But, you know,
he was a walk-in semi.
He was a beautiful man. But, like, I don't think he ever got us that far into a late competition. And bear in mind, he had, you know, the Beckhams, the Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, we mentioned before, Michael Owen, you know, wonderful striker. And we had a good defence as well, you know. At the back, we were well capable, but that's what I don't like. I don't like that about Southgate. When you know, and it's well documented, and he's documented how much we are struggling. We haven't got a fit left back at the minute. You know, Harry Maguire's out, so the likes of Marquis had to come in. And to be fair, I thought he was superb. Yeah, just go for it. Yeah, if we concede, we concede. You know what I mean? And the one thing that I think Southgate does forget, we've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world in Pickford, you know, and I know Pickford gets a lot of stick because he shouts at people and he plays for Everton, so he concedes a lot of goals. But it means that Pickford is in the game a lot more than the likes of Donnarumma, who plays, you know, who barely has a touch of the ball for Paris Saint-Germain because they're beating teams 9-0 every week. You know, Pickford is a world-class goalkeeper. So, you know, trusting him to make the saves and, you know, for me, I would personally rather we play badly and won than play well and lost. But when you were looking at this squad and you're looking at the Bellinghams, you're looking at like the likes of, you know, the Bellinghams and all that and Kane. And I'd made this point last night to me, mate. I don't think there's a squad in that in the whole Euros who have had so many players who've scored a lot of goals this year. Like you look at Kane, Kane got 40 odd goals, didn't he, this year for Bayern? Bellingham got 17 in his first season for Bayern, for Real Madrid, and he's 20 years old. You know, Anthony Gordon got 15. Saka got double figures. You know, Rice was banging. I think Rice got about 6 or 7, didn't he? So I would think for goals wise per player, we've probably got the most. And I certainly can't think of another side. So
it is the most defensive football. It is the irony in that, like I said, if it was me, Rice, and what I liked was Rice said before the game in an interview that he was going to be disciplined and organised. He said that. He told everyone, I'm going to be disciplined and organised to allow Trent a bit of freedom to do stuff, because that's what and he's really good. And like I said, you got those two in the mid defence, Rice, attack, because no one will be able to get the ball off you then. I mean, and that's sort of what Liverpool do. Liverpool don't pass a lot. They go for it, and that's the strength. You play the strength of the teams that you got. And all those plays, if Harry's Kane, he'd be having a wet dream if all those plays were feeding him and attacking. That'd just be, he'd be sleeping in sweaty, sodden sheets non-stop. Not just because of the weather, because of that team. And Sam confirms Sven was World Cup 2002. He thinks with the Brazil quarterfinal.
Yeah, it was a Ronaldinho free kick, wasn't it? Yeah.
Failed semi for Sven, which was unheard of, which is very true. Just ask Eureka. And as I say, we need a much more attack-minded coach. And Freya was saying, she doesn't know if it's been said, but they barely got out to second gear. It's like they've lost their personality. And I think people often say a team reflects their manager, the personality of the manager. And I agree tremendously. I mean, Chloe, going forward, so your next game, who's England's next game? Because I don't know, because I haven't kissed.
Denmark.
Yeah. So, what do you think? I mean, I'm assuming the form. I don't think the formation is going to change very much. I think it's going to be pretty much the same. How are you feeling for this next game? Because you do this, and then you can kick your heels up and top of the group. Then.
Yeah, do you know what? I feel all right about it. Like Ant was saying earlier on, I watched the Denmark game, and both teams were a bit. They were all right, but I do think that England can beat them. Although Denmark I thought they were a strong side. I'm really pleased for Christian Eriksen.
Yeah.
Getting the goal after what happened.
And a beautiful goal too.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful goal. It was such a nice goal. And it was almost like a perfect story, wasn't it? Like him scoring was almost fate and almost perfect. So I'm really happy that he got that goal. And I don't know. I mean, you say, oh, you're going to win. We feel very confident. And then it actually gets to the game. You go, yeah, nah, it's not happening.
So, it's unnerving, isn't it? Because, like, I was watching it, and in the first half, when you're going for it, in the beginning of the second half, I thought, how you haven't scored 2 or 3? I've got no idea. Then all of a sudden, I suddenly thought, oh, shit, you're in proper trouble. Because Serbia were swarming you. And that was a bit... unnerving. I mean, Rebecca, play like that in the next 2 games. Are you feeling the victory, or do you think you're going to spend the rest of the group stage just pooping yourself?
I think it will
If
be
that's what
like
you do.
a bit. It would be a bit more stressful if we do carry on playing like we did. I mean, you allow a team like Denmark into a game like we did with Serbia and expect to concede, I think, and it's just going to be one of them. If we can get the players playing how we know they can play in the Prem, we have no issue. It's just, I don't think he ever will, but Southgate does need to just take his stubborn cap off and be like, right, we're going to have a bit of a change and we're going to do this. Just try and help as much as he can. But yeah, I have hope. I don't know how much hope I've got, but there is some.
I mean, Ant, you got your sexy football top on. Do you think Southgate's going to break into some sexy football, or do you think you're just going to grind your way through the group and into the quarters?
I think it'll be a slow burner like the last Euros where we didn't. I don't think in the last Euros we played that well in the groups, and it's following like quite a similar ilk where we won our first game 1-0, I think, because I think Sterling scored, didn't he? Then we drew with Scotland, and then won the third game 1-0. But then you looked at after the last 16 when we beat Germany, we looked a really, really good side. So I don't know if it's maybe just wants us out of the group, and then take it from there. But personally, I mean, I think we'll beat Denmark. And after what I saw yesterday, to be honest, I'm a little bit more worried about Slovenia than I am Denmark, because I thought Sesko, who played up front for Slovenia, was absolutely outstanding. So he was unlucky not to score 2 worldies yesterday, to be fair. I mean, that post off the one that hit the post, that's still wobbling now.
It's the balls of him to think to take these shots on. That's the unnerving thing, and that's what it looks to me like. Southgate is drilled out of the team, that sort of innovation to do stuff, but then players like Sesko, he's and Sam, I'm assuming France are playing at the moment. He said Mbappe just missed to sit there clean through. Do you know what? I've got this weird thought at the back of my mind that Mbappe is going to have a bad tournament. He's going to go to Real Madrid and he's going to turn to Kaka when he went to Real Madrid and just fall away and be like a nothing player. But I doubt it. But
do you know that Mbappe has never scored at the Euros?
Is he not?
No.
Wow.
No, he didn't score on the last one. Then he missed a penalty, didn't he, against Switzerland in the penalty shootout. He's never scored in the Euros yet. I mean, it's only his second Euros, so it's not like he's an experienced, grizzled veteran. But he's never scored yet. But if France win 1-0 tonight against Austria, which is pretty much a similar game than what we've had yesterday against Serbia, do you think they're going to have as much as a meltdown as what the British press seem to have had with England yesterday? I don't think so.
It depends on this and on the style of it, because I mean it's win. You can have a slow grind and you can just win the games. It's the style, and like I said, I think the thing that unnerved people from a English perspective, from what I've seen, is the fact that it was a nervy 1-0 win. It wasn't like he controlled it. Yeah, it was fine. It was like, oh my god, I'm going to poop my pants. We've got in the chat. Claire said, Mbappe is a speedy little sausage. Treaty thought he was going to score, and Sam has said Mbappe has been given the France captaincy too.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, by the way. I really don't agree with that.
Do you know what? Everybody's just giving him everything. It's like he's the Lord Savior Jesus Christ Almighty of French football, and it's weird, isn't it? It is.
He's too young for me to be a captain when they've got like N'Golo Kante who's playing for them. 32-year-old who's Premier League winner, done it all. And Mbappe, I don't know. He's just a bit too young. I don't think that Mbappe can lead a side like what they're expecting of him. Really what. No,
I mean they've got. I'm just looking at that French team, and that's a good team, isn't it? Mbappe, Griezmann, Dembele, Rabiot, Kante, Bacano, Saliba, and Jules Koundé and Hernandez. That's a starting 11. I mean, and if they win this game against the others, they're pretty much sort of set. If they finish top, they've got such an easy run in the tour. I think they avoid England, Spain, and Germany. And they could just sort of cruise all the way through, and you'll see him at the end. But I mean, do you think, I'm going to ask you now, after watching one game, I'm going to go round all of you. Anthony, where are England going to finish this tournament?
I think we'll get the final. I do. I think we've just got the squad to get the final. I don't know whether we're going to win it. I don't want to tempt fate and say we'll win it. But for me, if we don't win it, like either this year, win this Euros, or win the World Cup in 2 years' time, then I think it's a massive missed opportunity.
Oh, Rebecca, nail your flag to the post. Where are England going to finish?
I think we're either making the semis or the final. Like, we're going to go quite far, but I think I hate saying I can't see us winning it if we sit back as much as we do. But it could change. It could change. But yeah, I don't think we're winning it, but I do think we're going to get like semis or a final.
All right. And Chloe, are you a semi girl? Are you a final girl? Quarters? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm almost the same. Like, I think we could get to the semi-finals, but I don't think we're going to get to the final.
Yeah. Oh, so she's no Russian blood to the head, just a semi.
There's a lot of
Semi's
feds sitting here, Josh, isn't there?
We're all so confident, aren't we?
Everybody at least loves a set, and who doesn't love a good semi? Let's get all the innuendo in this evening. All the innuendo. We're going to do it all. But I mean, Sam's saying it's in the bag. He's already celebrated. He's got his blind optimism. Just beautiful. And do you know what else is beautiful? Sam's beautiful as well. And that's why he's got that beautiful optimism. Simon just wants to see Southgate take the handbrake off and let the team play. But yeah, we'll see. And Simon said if we get to another final and blow it, then it should definitely be hashtag Southgate out. And Trudy saying she dares to dream.
The problem is with that, could I just kind of ask that question back to Simon, though? And to be fair, the Southgate outers, what happens if we do win it? Does he go then? Because for me, he should go no matter what. Because I think he's been England manager. He's been England manager for a hell of a long time. And you've got to remember where we were when Southgate took over. We were in a bad place. And we were like, we weren't very good at all. And he got us into the semi-finals, wasn't it? The World Cup against Croatia. We've got us to a final against Italy, which we should have won, to be fair. And then obviously, I thought against France in the last World Cup, I thought we were a better team, and we were only Harry Kane, just Sky and the ball that's still travelling now. If we'd scored that one, I think we would have won. So I think in major competitions, I think he's done a cracking job, to be honest. But what if we do win this tournament? What else has he got for an England manager? I think he'll go then anyway. So I think he's gone no matter what. But it's to ask the question about what happens if we do win it.
Do you know, I want him to go to Man United. That's what I want. I mean, Luke's head is saying semis, his heart is saying finals, and Claire's saying if you do win, she's going to tattoo his name on. Now, she didn't say whether it's his first name, last name, or whole name. I mean, whatever you do not get tattooed at the base of your back, Southgate, because people will interpret that a little bit differently. But
I think she should get the tattoo on the big day out when we're all going out, because that'll be when the Euros is finished. We'll take it to a tattoo party and get Southgate on the base of it. I am going to hold you to that, Claire. By the way, if we
he's going to break it in half, South on one cheek, Gate on the other. That's what. I've not said anything that I'm going to do anything. And Jen said if we get to the final and lose, he's gone surely. And I mean, I'm with you. I think regardless, Southgate out.
Yeah, I think he's out regardless. Yeah, I honestly do.
Southgate out above you, but is risky. It is, but it's atomically correct though. Surely. And Simon thinks he should go anyway, but winning will give the FA an excuse to offer him a new contract. And I've got to be honest, if I was Southgate, I'd take it because what are the jobs you're going to have? What?
But if he wins the Euros, he'll walk in and any job he wants because people will go for him.
That is so funny.
You know what I mean? And he will. It's one of them things. And he was not a good club manager at all, but. No. What he has done for England, I think a lot of people have. I think people are a little bit have kind of forgotten where we were before he took over because we were in a terrible, terrible place. And I think he's done a cracking job. I do get what everyone's saying. We've got the play. A lot of it has been dealt on the players as well. That we have got a fantastic squad. But fantastic
He's-
squads also need a good manager as well. You know what I mean? So
I think he did create a good atmosphere and got rid of sort of the clickiness. I think he's done that, but for me, I think it's a tournament too many. I think
possibly
he should have gone before this, because I genuinely think if you had brought in a good manager, and people say, "Oh, well, Southgate isn't a good manager." If you brought in a good manager for this tournament, I genuinely think you could have won. You could win it quite comfortably, because I think one of the three of you said best squad easily in the Euros. I think attacking.
France, I think it's us off France.
Yeah, I mean, and Grimmy thinks Southgate would be great in Liverpool. Fortunately, we'll never find out. But Sam's saying, did he get Middlesbrough to UEFA Cup final once?
No, it was Steve McLaren.
That was Super Steve. Super Steve did that. But that's
another
it.
Great England manager.
I tell you what. But we had everybody's made their commitment. They think England might get to the final. They might not. They might potentially win it, but they're just not really sure. So a lot of definition. If you want people to go to the bookies with you, if you're struggling to name your child, Chloe, Rebecca, and Anthony, they're the ones to ask. Full of decision. But I mean, well, before we move on, talk about England and English players, and something that Chloe and Rebecca, I'm sure you'll want us to mention, is send our condolences out to the family of Kevin Campbell, who sadly passed away this week. I mean, as Everton fans, I mean, Rebecca, Chloe, did you want to add anything to that? No.
Can I just add, because obviously I'm old enough to remember him play, and he was phenomenal, phenomenal footballer. And we're talking about England now, and that man should have had caps for England. He didn't get one cap, and he scored goals left, right, and centre. And whoever was, I think it was like the Hoddle, Keegan era where Campbell was banging the goals in, I think he was overlooked for players who weren't as good as him, but were playing for bigger clubs. And it's still happening to this day, where, the big club syndrome does kind of kick in when it comes to picking players. But Kevin Campbell, wonderful footballer, but even more importantly, a wonderful human being, because he was a brilliant man off the pitch. So it's such a shock, to be fair. Really, it's one of them ones where you don't know, because I've never met Kevin Campbell in my life, but you don't know him, but you feel like you've lost something. As I was quite sad when I heard the news. I really, really, well, not upset, but really, really sad. Thought football's lost a great person there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a sadder place without people like that, and you need people like Kevin Campbell in the game, even after his career, just to bring that light and that standard in. So it is sad, and so our condolences to all of his family and everyone involved with him. I mean, moving on to I'd like to note for some, a darker note for others. Germany 5, Scotland 1. Let's just enjoy the other British team in the Euros. I mean, Chloe, what did you think? How did that one make you feel?
Oh, do you know what? It's the opening game everyone kind of wants, isn't it? And what more could you ask for than 5 goals and a red card? What more could you just possibly ask for? It's just one of those. It was just really entertaining to watch as well. Like it was just one of those. It was like I thought Havertz's penalty was quite good when he just like slammed it in. That was pretty. I quite like that. But
I like a slammed in penalty.
A slammed in penalty. It's just like I just don't have time for the dilly dallying whilst taking it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Can we say as well, while we're on that, any footballer, don't do it, because it makes you look like a dick. When you miss, it makes you look like a dick, and it doesn't add anything other than people think you're a dick. So just don't do it. And I tell you, so while we're talking about dicks, something I did want to touch on before we moved off England, to all of the England, I'm not going to call them fans, you're not England fans, to all the England dicks that are aboard singing stupid songs that are deliberately designed to make people feel uncomfortable and to just be abusive and rude. Remember, you're representing all of these people, all of the English people. You are representing them in a foreign country, and you're being dicks. Your families will be embarrassed of you. Your parents will be. Nobody thinks you're cool. Nobody thinks anything positive you about at all. We all think you are dicks. So stop being a dick. Honestly, please. It's embarrassing. It is so embarrassing because as a Welshman, we get associated with English people, which really upsets me generally anyway. And then for me to see stuff like that, people wanted to tag it. Oh, look at you English out there. No, they're dicks. Stop it. Please don't be a dick.
Can I just quickly add 2 things as well regarding that? Please stop booing. And this is for all fans as well, because I got this yesterday in the pub. Please stop booing the other team's national anthem. Please respect it because they're there to play a football match. And I just think it's just makes you look like an 8-year-old. And for some reason, I know the reason why, because I was in a pub in Durham and it's very much half Sunderland, half Newcastle. Please stop booing England players, as in what you were doing last night in booing Jordan Pickford, because he's the best goalkeeper that we've got. So please just zip it. All right, there we go.
Yeah, stop being dicks.
Yeah, hashtag don't be a dick.
Yeah, just don't do it. If you're doing something that is negative against somebody else, then you're being a dick. If you're being positive, if something is nice, you're saying nice words, beneficial things, that's good. Anything else, just please stop it. Stop being a dick. It winds me up. But back to I've been talking dicks in Scotland. We're playing very dickish football on the pitch. But Sam did say Musiala was superb. Tony Kroos was pure class, and Florian Wirtz as well. Oh, Rebecca, did you catch any of that game? What did you think of Scotland getting pumped?
I did feel really sorry for Scotland. I mean, the underdog story that they could bring to the Euros would be incredible, but you always knew heading into this one it was going to be hard for them. I mean, you're coming up against the hosts and one of the favourites to win it, and then you've got the likes of, as Sam said, Musiala and Kroos coming up against Scotland. It doesn't seem fair at times, but yeah. It was, for Germany to have 5 different goal scorers, I applaud them.
Yeah.
Incredible performance by them all. And I did think it was just downhill for Scotland when the red card at half-time. Because it's 2-0 down, you think, right, go into half-time 2-0, regroup, get your heads back, and you could be in with a chance. But then to have Ryan sent off and then concede the penalty, it's just another blow for them. But I know this one, it was one that they could afford to lose in the group, and I think a lot of people did expect this one to be the one that they lost in the group, but they're still in with a chance, 2 wins in the next matches, and Scotland could turn it around. I mean, you see the manager and the players in the press speaking and everything like that. I mean, the manager didn't need to come out the other day and speak, but he chose to. And it's just regroup, get them back together. And I do really want an underdog story of Scotland. And I do think if they can regroup, they will struggle without Ryan. I do believe he is quite a strong one for them. But yeah, it's just regroup and get back on it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in the chat, we've got Simon concurring with you, which means agree. Let's be honest, Scotland wouldn't have expected to get anything from that anyway. And Spenny Fan Chris, good evening, Spenny Fan Chris. As in, Scotland made it difficult for themselves, that red card. What was he thinking with a 2-footed tackle? I mean, we spoke about, and I don't want to use the term England fans, some dicks who happen to be associated with England over in Germany. Scottish fans, the opposite, from what I've seen, everything I've seen, they've been great and really, really good fun out there. I mean, and how much do you think this is going to dent them? Because people you would expect them to lose, but not quite like that. Do you think that's going to be a big dent to them and the players? And do you think they're going to be able to regroup? How do you think they're going to be feeling?
Well, the good thing is about, I suppose, in the group games now, they haven't got a long time to dwell on it. They play on Wednesday night, so it's 5 days after it. So I mean, they were bad, weren't they? They did not play well at all. They just allowed Germany to be Germany, really. Wow. And Germany have struggled, to be fair, in international games lately. But they've got the likes of Musiala. You mentioned Wirtz before. I thought Wirtz was unbelievable. Hazard, Fulkrug came on and banged one in, didn't he? I mean, he doesn't. They stay hit when he hits them, right? Doesn't it, with Fulkrug? But you know, they've got two again. I think they've got the Swiss next, haven't they, and then Hungary. And for me, I can't see them getting many more points. But I think if they can just even a draw against Switzerland, I think it's a great result for them. But what were we expecting from Scotland in this competition? Probably, you know, to fight. Fight and maybe go out, and they didn't fight. The second they made it far too easy for Germany in the first half, and obviously we talk about the red card. I mean, it's a terrible tackle to be fair, but
it's a head's gone though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the damage had been done anyway. They're already 2-0 down anyway, and obviously what he was doing was just trying to stop Gundogan from scoring, wasn't he? He was trying to get in the way of the ball. He's followed through, caught Gundogan, and Gundogan's lucky he didn't have a broken leg, to be fair, because that is a leg-breaking tackle, and rightfully so he got sent off. He's missing the next 2 games, and as Becca said before, it'd be a massive miss for them, because I think Ryan Pateas is a good footballer, and he's very, very crucial to how Scotland play, but I think, probably Grant Hanley will probably come in for him, and, I think Hanley's probably seen better days, but if they can get a draw off the Swiss, brilliant. But I just can't see them qualifying, I'm afraid. It's a bad group for them, I think, for Scotland. Because there's 3 good sides there playing in that talk. I think, like I said just before we started, I thought the Swiss against Hungary were, especially in the first half, I thought they were absolutely fantastic. So be a difficult one.
It is. I mean, and someone's in the chat saying there's some of the Scottish family you'd like them to see get something from the last 2 games. 20 fan Chris saying they've still got a chance of finishing 3rd. If they can get something, and Claire showing a lot of love here. Claire couldn't care less about Scotland. I would rather Germany win. That's
the thing is, yeah. I mean, would Scotland do Scotland fans want to see us do well? No, they don't. So my granddad was Scottish, but I really, really do not care about them. You know what I mean? I thought it was hilarious on Friday night. I really do, because they would think exactly the same thing about us.
You know what? If Wales were in it, I'd be saying the same thing as well. But we're just chilling. We're chilling this. I'm enjoying the good weather back here, and that's just what we're doing. But that's exactly it. That's why we didn't go through. England fans convinced we're going to win. Scotland fans here for the party with 0 expectations, says Claire, and that's just enjoy it and embrace it. We won't go through all of the games, because obviously we'll be here forever, and that's just gonna kill everybody. But obviously every week we'll cover the England and the Scotland games while they're still happening. But if you want to pick out, just for a quick 5 minutes, and was there one game that has stood out to you so far, or one team?
A surprise one would probably be Romania today against Ukraine. I didn't think the Ukraine didn't show up, but the fact that the whole kind of tournament really has been based on, obviously it's Ukraine's first real tournament since the invasion of Ukraine, obviously. But but there was a lovely montage with a lot of the players whose cities have been destroyed, and that you thought this is going to be like their retribution to really show themselves on the main stage. But Romania. Smash and grab though, but they scored 2 fantastic goals. I know they won 3-0. The third one was I thought might have been offside, but 2 great goals, and they look like a real dark horse in that group. It's opened that group right up, because obviously Belgium, who them and Slovenia in the other group, and Belgium got beat off Slovenia, so it's anyone for that group. So probably for like 90 minutes, the best team I saw was probably Romania. I mean, a lot of people meant Spain, but I thought Croatia were dreadful, to be honest. So I thought it was more Croatia being a bit dreadful than Spain being that good. I thought obviously is it Fabal, the Spanish, the 16-year-old kid? I mean, he looks baller, doesn't he? But there's no one really that's probably what I thought. Like we mentioned England before, where I thought they look really good so far, apart from possibly the Swiss. I thought they were really, really good. But yeah, it's still early days. People are still teething, aren't they?
And Sam's shout is Wout de Weghorst is
I love how Weghorst is an absolute cart horse wherever he goes club-wise, but he just brings it for the Dutch. It's absolutely magnificent.
He's a beast. And that was probably one of my entertaining games. I quite enjoyed that. But I'll come on to that one in a moment. What we didn't mention, which by the way, in the Scotland game, playing a completely different formation, but where was Big Shanks? Where was Big Shanks?
Yeah.
Start the man. That'll teach you.
I think they will the next game. I think Shanks will play next game. I think he would have come on at half time had Pateas not been sent off. You know what I mean? I think they were ready in it for half time, and then
you know what they've been keeping him at the back, ready, warming him up, and he's going to be like their secret weapon in these next games. Now, Rebecca, any standout games or teams for you so far in this first opening round?
Well, I mean, the Belgium and Slovakia match, I did not expect that scoreline at all. I mean, Belgium were really unlucky. It just didn't go their way today. I mean, 2 goals ruled out with VAR, which I think they're like the first iffy calls of the tournament. I feel as though VAR has been working quite well. And I love the new rule of only the captain can go to the ref. I think that just stops the crowding of the ref, and it just keeps the game flowing a bit more. But yeah, I thought the Belgium and match was a really good one, and I feel like, as Ant said, that group is looking quite an interesting one to see how that finishes. I also just want to point out the fact that I appreciate that they put the Dutch match on a Sunday because us F1 fans got to listen to the national anthem again on a Sunday. He's never leaving us. We've got Austria and Netherlands coming up next week, I think it is, so we hear them.
My sweepstake team's Austria, so I'm kind of root team Austria as well.
I mean, as Rebecca said as well, pretty good officiating so far throughout the tournament. PGMOL, take note, don't have shit officials, and they do better. Who knew? Chloe, any standout games for you, performances, teams, players?
So I was quite impressed with Albania the other day, how they not only scored against Italy, who, as we know, are reigning champions, but they made history and scored after 23 seconds, which is just, and it was quite a nice goal as well. It was a proper good strike.
Do you think Donnarumma could have saved it though from post?
Yeah.
It's a great finish. Don't get us wrong. I expect me to keep the best keeper in the world. Apparently, I expect him to save that. I must admit, but Albania were brilliant. Yeah.
But so that kind of shocked me and really impressed me. So yeah, I'm very impressed with Albania.
Oh, and for me, like I said, I enjoyed the Poland Netherlands game. That was I sort of, who knew Gakpo as a left winger, that's his position. I think the only thing that was unnerving was they felt very Liverpool-esque in their performance. I mean, the Netherlands, it is lots of attacks, lots of dangerous looking attacks. Christ, they couldn't finish for shit. And so, it felt like I was watching Liverpool play, especially with Gakpo and the big V at the back. It was I thought, oh no, what's going on here? But that was a very entertaining game. I don't know about that Dutch team. I don't know what they can do, because they should have won that about 3 or 4-0, but they didn't. And Poland, had some good chances, could have equalised near the end. But as Sam said, the mighty Wout Weghorst, one of the bestest names to say, made it very interesting. But
I think their away top's beautiful as well. That blue top. I mean, I'm a connoisseur of football shirts. That was absolutely beautiful. Like I'll be buying that when it comes out.
It was a beautiful one. But I mean, that'll bring us to the end this evening. Nice little hour in a bit to enjoy spending time together. And hopefully on the Monday, because we're going to be covering the Euros, we might cover the Euros in most of the pods. Hopefully we're going to get a nice eclectic mix of people from all the pods coming together into the melting pot. Isn't that beautiful? Because believe it or not, we're all friends. We all like each other across all the shows. Who would have thunk it? But not really appreciate all of you guys coming on this evening. And Anthony, if people want more of you, where can they find you?
Oh, see, I get it wrong. It's pressure because Becca does it brilliantly. Just there we go. I'm at Ant_Waterson on Twitter and at HowWePod for anything you'd like to know about Sunderland ladies. But at the minute, nothing's happening, so we're not posting that much. But yeah, if you want to have a chat, then mint, but not from Wednesday onwards for a week, because I'm away. Leave us alone, then.
So leave Anthony's about until Wednesday.
Yes,
and then just bug him off.
From Wednesday onwards, I shall be at the Isle of Wight Music Festival, so I won't be in any condition to talk to anybody. And I will be watching the Peter Crouch podcast live after the Denmark games. The Peter Crouch podcast is on afterwards, so I'm really looking forward to that. So hopefully I get me Crouchy and get a pint with him.
You got to get him. You got to get him to record a message for the podcast.
Yes, I will try. Yeah, I will definitely. Get anywhere near him.
But Rebecca, obviously, people are going to want more. Where can they find more Rebecca Shaw, the underscore queen?
They can find me here, which is _Rebecca_Shaw_. So that's my personal account and everything. And I've just set up a new page, which is Goal to Track, where I'm talking everything Everton, Accrington, and covering Formula 1, 2, and 3. So if anyone's interested in that, then yeah.
You see how effortless the point was there, though, Josh? That is effortless. I'm like this all the time. I'm like Thunderbirds. And that's just effortless, isn't it?
It's just mad skills. It's because of all the pods that she does, because she does all the pods. And Chloe Bear, where can people find you?
Somewhere. I don't know where. I don't do that. I'm not
as easy as it looks, is it?
It's quite hard. So I'm Chloe Bear 529 on Instagram and Twitter.
Superb. And at the moment, I mean, I will say that I've had a couple of people try and like message me and tag me and things at the moment. I'm not ignoring anybody at the minute. I'm having a bit of a social media break. I'm not in a fabulous place. I'm having a couple of issues, quite significant future threatening issues health-wise personally, which is messing my head up a little bit, as well as some family problems that we've got with some loved ones not being particularly well, which coupled in within my quite fucking terrifying health issues that I've got at the moment means I'm not in a very good headspace for Twitter, and every time I go on I end up getting in stupid arguments with people because my head's just not in the right place to get to engage and deal with the stupidity and negativity of Twitter. So I am trying to stay off at the moment. So if you want to get hold of me, you will struggle. I do check my DMs sporadically. So if anybody does need to get hold of me for anything, that's where I am. But please don't think I'm ignoring anybody. I'm just not corpus mentis enough to be able to deal with stuff at the moment. But I am still here. I'm not dead yet, although according to my doctor, I could very well be. So let's embrace me while you've got me. And for people who have reached out at the moment, thank you very much. It does genuinely help, and I do need it at the moment because I'm not brilliant, but I appreciate you all being here with us. But the big thing, what I would really appreciate, and what all of us would appreciate, is please do follow the podcast. If you are on Twitter, we are at Absolute Ball Pod, and YouTube on Twitch at Absolute Football Podcast, and on the tick boom, it is at Absolute Football Pod, and Instagram Threads is Absolute Football Podcast _ on Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast. And on Wednesday we do have the hashtag Team Chaos of Absolutely WSL and Women's Championship, and I don't know what these ladies and guys are all discussing at the moment. They've always got something to cover, and it's always a really educational conversation and just lots of fun. So please do check it out. I'm not sure it is this Wednesday. I was about to say this Wednesday they've got a special guest, TikTok sensation Emma Oldfield, coming on to the podcast. I want to do check that out. That's we're really pleased, and well done, Sam. Solid work with Sam to get Emma on. It's going to be really good. We look forward to that. And of course, the Wowdy Wabble on Thursdays at 8:30, the award-winning Wowdy Wabble. It's just the pure class. They're going to be there with Charlotte leading the charge as always with them lots. So please do check us out. And if you're on audio platforms, please do 5-star follow, tell all your friends, all your enemies. And on the old YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button. It is free, and every time you do, an angel gets its wings, which is a beautiful thing to see. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening. I hope you all have a lovely evening, and TTFN and tata.